Anna Kepner, the 18-year-old Florida cheerleader who died on a Carnival cruise earlier this month, was honored during a celebration of life service yesterday in her hometown. But her ex-boyfriend is now saying there were warning signs from her stepbrother, who has been named as a potential suspect.
When I was on FaceTime with her and she was laying down and the brother tried to go on top of her, I was like, what the hell are you doing in her room, you know? Then he got scared and ran away. And I heard his footsteps running through the house, you know, because he got caught.
Joining me now is Fox News contributor and criminal defense attorney Josh Ritter. Josh, what do you make of these new details?
It's disturbing. You know, we're getting this slow trickle of information, which is a little frustrating. But as we get more information, it starts to turn or sound at least much more sinister. I mean, you know, initially, at least I would say that the official reports that we've been given is that we don't quite know if foul play was involved in her death. We know that certainly there was some person involved in concealing her body, but how she met her end, if there was violence involved or some other means, we don't know. But now, with this quote that we just heard there from the boyfriend, it's starting to sound like our worst fears may starting to become true. And I hope that investigators start to be more forthcoming with their information. Yeah, and now this step-sibling, the stepbrother suspect, who has not yet been charged with anything, but if that does happen, could he be charged as a 16-year-old, as an adult? Yeah, I mean, you know, every state has its mechanism for taking minors, you know, juveniles, those below the age of majority, 18 years old, and charging them with adult crimes. These are the types of situations that we see that, especially crimes involving violence. If that is what, in fact, took place here, certainly a murder is going to qualify for something like that where they might pursue it. It's up to the prosecutors. It's going to be up to Miami-Dade County. I think they have jurisdiction over this. It's being investigated by the feds, but they may hand that over to them. We'll see how this all plays out. But to answer your question more directly, yes, it's absolutely something that could be on the table.
And now we're learning that this 16-year-old was briefly hospitalized after the cruise, and also separately, his mom, Anna's stepmother, is pleading the fifth in a separate custody battle case. So this is complicated and horrific, and this innocent young woman lost her life somehow, and we're going to be following it. There's also this horrible situation that took place in Chicago on Monday. A man with 49 prior arrests is accused of setting a woman on fire on a train. She was just sitting there and he doused her with gasoline, chased her, set her on fire, and now she's fighting for her life. 49 prior arrests. He's being now charged with a terrorism charge, and Mayor Brandon Johnson has spoken out about this, obviously condemning the situation as horrific, but also making comments saying that this is an isolated incident. What do you think about this case?
That's the problem. It doesn't seem to be isolated. It seems like we're hearing these stories more and more often, and it's incredibly frustrating. I have a background in law enforcement. I was a district attorney, and I knew how much we would look for opportunities where we could prevent future harm, where if we had somebody in the system and there was something that we could do now to stop them from further violence down the road, we would want to take advantage of that. Here, how many dozens of opportunities did they have to do exactly that? And instead, it becomes this revolving door situation where a person just continues to commit these low-level, petty-type crimes, even venturing into violence, and they continue to get released until we see something absolutely horrific like this. And then, everybody jumps on top of it to do something about it, but it's far too late at that point.
Yeah, and he had an ankle monitor on at the time of this burning incident because he had attacked a social worker at a hospital. But despite his extensive criminal history, a judge denied a request for him to be detained. So he was out, and now this woman is suffering the consequences as a result. Really quickly here, when it comes to the terrorism charge, is that more serious than attempted murder?
It's not that it's more serious, it's that it's going to add more exposure to him. So he's going to be looking at more prison time if he's eventually convicted of that. And I appreciate that, too. I appreciate even the kind of labeling of it, calling it terrorism, because that is essentially what it is. This woman, innocent person, no contact with him, just going about her day. This is the kind of stuff that fuels nightmares for people because we want to feel safe just going about our day. And now this horrific thing takes place that may forever scar her. So if they're going to add a terrorism allegation to this, I applaud it.
It's just awful. And now we're hearing that if this poor woman does die, this man could be facing the death penalty. Fox News contributor and criminal defense attorney Josh Ritter, we thank you for joining us.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.